Robert Murray on another episode of On Campus, and we're here at the Solano College Sports Network studio. And Robert, getting to know you in this semester, I wanted to ask you, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? We're starting off strong with a long term, question.
Well, 5 years from now, I hope to be pursuing this broadcasting career a little bit more, because being in my second full year now at Solano and everything, just learning from my first full year, I really want to do this for my career. Just hopefully getting a job somewhere, even if it's minimal and I have to work my way up, just becoming a sports broadcaster and be a lead play-by-play guy somewhere would be an amazing goal for me, because through high school, I was hurt, didn't get to play sports as much, so I had to pivot, and sports broadcasting was just the interesting way to go. My mom recommended it to me. She's like, "You're good at saying all those things, pulling up stats when it's gonna happen."
See,
so
the
moms do get into it, yeah. So she's really a big influence on why I am where I am today, and yeah, just being a long-term play-by-play guy somewhere.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Good to hear. And it seems like you've learned a lot from the people around you, your peers around you, throughout the 2 years, correct?
Yeah, I'm in my second year,
Yeah,
2 semesters.
Two
so
semesters
far.
that you've been doing this. But, I wanted to ask you, is coming out of high school, did you see yourself going to, maybe a big, not actual college, but a bigger name college? Or did you see yourself going to Solano? Or did you even see yourself, wanting to go to college at all? What was your mindset coming out of high school?
Well, yeah, coming out of high school, I knew just transferring halfway through my high school career, from moving from New Mexico all the way to California, it was a big time move, and I was just wondering what I was going to do in California. We moved to California mainly for that better college opportunity at first, but
Yes,
then
sir.
financially it's just a better decision to come here to Solano, and it's been a real blessing to be here because the financial aid FAFSA helps out quite a bit as well. So
Get that money.
I just think it's better, because then you can get your general education done here and then transfer out to a 4-year or anything that you plan on doing after that. So Solano's been the main, since the start of my senior year, that's what I've been focusing on. And when I was doing my research, saw the sports broadcasting program, I knew it was what I was destined to do.
See, sometimes God puts you in places. But another question, we're going to take it back to your high school days.
Okay.
What sports did you play? And, I know you've talked about how you had a few injuries, not an ACL tear, but a little bit of dislocation, You can talk about what sports did you play, and,
Well, growing up, I played football and baseball. Those were my two favorite sports growing up. My first ever sport, though, I started off with basketball. That was the first sport I truly actually fell in love with.
Basketball?
Basketball,
Really?
yeah. Surprisingly, for how big of a baseball nerd I am. So when I was 8 years old, played basketball, and then I kind of stopped that for playing baseball and football, but then I focused on baseball when I was going more towards high school. But before my freshman year really could get started, it ended with my Achilles partially tearing, so had to go back through that. So in high school, I didn't really get to play sports as much as I really wanted to, but then again, what can you do? Like you always tell me, God has a plan for you, and I believe that wholeheartedly, that God,
Sir.
for some reason, wanted to tear my Achilles a little bit right then and there, but it brought me to where I am here, and I'm very thankful for this opportunity right now.
Exactly, two athletes that tore a few things, and now we're sitting across from each other talking to each other. But
Exactly.
that's what I was going to ask you is, was college always the answer? And what I mean by that was were you looking into, maybe going into the workforce, or was sports your number one plan? Was sports your number one plan before you tore all your stuff? Or
Sports was definitely if you're playing sports growing up,
Yeah.
definitely, your mindset's, I'm gonna make it big, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's definitely gonna be the mindset. You're a basketball player, you want to make the NBA. You're a baseball player, you want to be in the MLB, anything, etc. So when you get injured playing sports, you kind of have that reality check where you're like, dang, I really might not be able to make it pro in this.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of work to come back from injuries. So I
Especially.
can't blame people for giving up on sports after it. It's just, yeah, always been a goal to just come to college after playing sports and everything.
That's good to hear. So, with the follow-up question, what allowed you to become the person you are, as we see right here today? Like what I mean by that is, was there an influence? Was there certain events that made you who you are today, and the characteristics that you hold, and just your like, or like, I guess you could say aura, but like your like the way you present and you hold yourself to, like what standards?
Yeah, I think the main influences in my life has been both my parents, good and bad. My mom, she's influenced me in the right direction, I would say so. Just based off of like, she's like, you gotta get your academics done no matter what. It'll be a better option for you long term. You'll be better financially later in life by that. So I think my mom really pushes me in the right direction. And just learning from my dad, I don't really talk about him a lot because it's a touchy subject a little bit.
I get it.
He was an alcoholic growing up, so it was just kind of tough on me just seeing my parents fight every day, basically from elementary school until they finally eventually split apart in their marriage. But it's just watching my dad and everything, just seeing all the bad things he would do. I was just like, I can't be a man like that, not ignoring my children for alcohol. That also wants me to really be a good father, because no matter what I do in my career, I just want to end up being a good father for my children one day. So that really sticks with me.
Yes, sir, bro. You know what? Give you a little dap up for that, because like that takes a lot of respect. That was like, I just got to give you a bunch of respect, and appreciate you for even coming on and say that. Speaking on that father subject, I feel like even with me too. Most of my questions that I wanted to ask was going to see like how deep can me and you get into a conversation, and I think that that's something that me and you can definitely like connect with, because same thing. I wouldn't say that my father was an alcoholic, but he's not there. He's absent, right?
Right.
And there's two ways that you could learn from something like that. It's either you become what you hate, and that's not something that you do on purpose, but that's just something because of the environment that you've been around, or how can you grow from it, how can you learn from it, from another person's mistakes. And like you said about being a good father to your children, that's the same thing I want. I don't want to get too deep into it either, but like I want to be there for my kids, and the same thing like you said, you want to be a better version of your father, you want to be better than your father. And I can feel the same way. And I mean, if you have any.
Yeah, I mean, just being a better. There's two ways you can learn, like you were saying.
Yeah.
You can either go along with it, or you can be the complete opposite of it. And
Yeah.
I think my mindset growing up was just always be the opposite of that. Because like in my heart, I always want to do the right thing for people, no matter what. If you're a friend,
Exactly.
just a person I meet out on the street randomly somewhere, I just want to do the right thing. Try to make people's days brighter. Because when my dad was around, it would feel like that negative rain cloud coming in. It's just like, oh no, here we go again. So I just think making people's days better can go a long way.
Yeah. And do you feel like right now, with that you feel like that you're on that path to leading up to that, or do you feel like the purpose, like have you feel like you found the purpose of what you want to do in your life, and do you feel like you're on that path to that purpose?
I really think I am. I think, like you've been saying about God, it's just he puts you in this path for a reason, and I just think I am on the right path right now, because I've been with my girlfriend nearly a year now. Shout out Ali, I love you so much.
Woohoo! Lucky girl.
We plan on moving in together next year, getting an apartment and everything, because college life, you got to figure out if you can live with the person or not. But
Yes, sir.
I love that girl to death. She's my life right now. So also focusing on my education too. Like that's the reason I'm here, is to try to get better with sports broadcasting, and she fully supports that 100%. She's like, you can do sports, you got this, no matter what. And then like I'll be hard on myself listening to myself after games sometimes. She's like, no, you did great. Just think about where you're at community college, you're not a pro yet.
Yes, sir.
And she's just that constant reminder for me that I need to like have these expectations that aren't so high for myself right now. Just it's good to have high expectations, but don't be hard on myself for them.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's like definitely something, when like I talked about in the interview that I had, that you had with me, is like, I don't know if you have any generational curses. I'm not saying that I did any, but just trying to be that leader to bring your family or bring your last name to mean something, or you just want to be great. You want to be someone who could have a big name for yourself, and I can see you, like I can tell by the way you hold yourself accountable the way you act, I feel like you're a very respectable leader, and I think that that's what all three of the broadcasters that you, Holden and Mason. I mean, you guys are like amazing, and I just want to say that you know I don't know if you hear it a lot, but I think that this means a lot to someone. Is like when someone tells you you're proud of them. You don't hear that a lot, and I'm proud of you guys. Even though I just met you guys, I think that what you guys are doing is amazing. You guys inspire me to be better every single day. And even just hearing what you just said, like I appreciate that personally, like about your touchy subject, about your father and your family and stuff. I appreciate that because, that you're giving light to things that people usually don't talk about. And that just shows how strong you are as a person and as an individual, and like how you're just like, you have a lot of things headed for you, and it's gonna be good things.
I appreciate it. Yeah. You don't hear that a lot. I'll take that thankfully and humbly, but that's how I try to live life, humble. And then just being a leader to everyone. I'm not like that big vocal guy. I'm not gonna go out in front of everyone and be like, hey, this is what we need to do. I'm gonna be more like behind the scenes and be like, this is how you can get better. This is how you can do things.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people don't learn by having that big speech in front of them. They need more of that just one-on-one time getting better. So that's how I believe I can lead people in this class. It's just by getting to know them a little better. It doesn't always have to be about broadcasting. It could be about life in general.
Exactly, and that's why that's another thing that I wanted to touch on. I know we're in the that broadcasting class, but I wanted to see how deep could I get onto a level with you. How could I like learn more about you, not just as a classmate, but like as a friend, as a person. You know what I'm saying? And I think that we both have that same mindset of like, you said about, I want to do the right thing for either a classmate or a friend or someone that's on the street. And I think like that's the mindset you got to have every single day. So, I also wanted to ask you about was broadcasting like, how would I say this? Broadcasting, was it like, is broadcasting what you thought it was going to be? Like, did you think that it was going to be did it come easy? Did it come hard? Like, was it something that like you thought was going to be a challenge when you got into it? Were you nervous?
Yeah, I think all those feelings that you're describing, was it going to be a difficult thing to do? Am I nervous? I think that all just comes along with starting something new. When you go into something new, you're always going to be nervous. You're always going to be like, is this going to be too difficult for me? So yeah, that was in the back of my mind starting up this broadcasting program, but just watching sports and being knowledgeable of that really allows me to go out there with confidence when I'm broadcasting, knowing that I can really do this, and that's what I like to do, is broadcast games.
That's good. And what do you think is like your favorite, favorite sport?
My favorite sport?
Yeah.
Baseball, 1,000,000%. I would say baseball is just the greatest sport. It's an art form that people don't understand sometimes.
And then last question is, what is something that you would tell an incoming college student like me coming out of high school, or maybe your past self? What is something that you would tell yourself, coming off the experience that you've had now, what advice would you give yourself or someone like me who's an incoming college student coming from high school at a community college?
Yeah, I would say just be committed with what you're doing. If you're going to go into something, do it 100%. Because if you have that 50-50, do I want to do it, do I not? I feel like you just got to go on and just do it. Because you can't be scared to take that jump sometimes. And no matter where it leads you, you can always rebound. You're still young in life. You can always pivot off of it's college. You go there to figure out yourself for a reason. So just commit to college 100%, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, it's all about being all in, and that's, got to take it day by day. But, we're here. It's Domingo Daynes. I'm with Robert Murray, and thank you for that interview. I'm appreciative that you were able to sit here and talk to me today on campus, and we are here at the Solano College Sports Network studio, and we'll see you guys on another episode.